Hello everybody, it's Rob, and this is Zafehouse Diaries. What the heck is Zafehouse Diaries? Well, it's, you are leading a individual or group of survivors in this kind of zombie apocalypse. But it's not a shooter. It's more of a management game. Everything's expressed through the diary. We're gonna take her out with a team roadkill here. You start with 5 survivors. Survivors cannot be replaced. Some aggressor dilemmas. That means some angry people might turn up from time to time. No time limit. Repair a vehicle to win the game. And no buildings will produce resources. Basically, you can't like farm a building. But let's take that one out. So the town is generated as we start the game. And here you see our diary, right? So it says here 6 a.m., house 4 Kenton Road. So we are at a house on 4 Kenton Road. That's where you're going to start games. You're going to start in a house, probably. At least all the ones I've started. Down here is the watch. Use that to advance time. Over here is the town map, and this shows our markers. This is our survivors. It's apparently supposed to be fairly easy to modify the game, so you can use your own pictures, create your own characters, and make the game look the way you want it to. But right now, this is just an unmodified game. So, the diary. We made it. Amongst our fragile group, we have an engineer, a carpenter, a firefighter, a mechanic, and an athlete. We arrived with a weapon, some tools, some food, and a few medical supplies. The 5 of us are wary of each other. Deanna isn't adjusting well to the group, but Bridget might be able to hold everyone together. Well, let's get into that right now. Right, so I click on any one picture, and it brings up their like character sheet and the interactions between them. Now, she distrusts young people. She's 33. He's 23, and that's why we have this like kind of dotted yellow here. Again, Daryl has a lingering prejudice towards the poor, and was a mechanic, straight, uneducated, and comes from a poor background. So, there's that. Has a lingering prejudice towards the middle class. Has a lingering prejudice towards the poor. This complicates life because they will progressively get to like or dislike each other, depending on the events in the game and how you do things. It may be worthwhile to spread a rumor. And I'm not sure what would impress people, but let's see here. And anything that's with green text you can change. It's bizarre how I could lay that out. I mean, I could like make it to beta discounted educated wealthy people. If I don't want to do that, I just hit the X here and it'll kill it, and we can like choose something else. Deanna and Jonathan are distant cousins. They lost contact many years ago because of a family feud. That seems like a fair enough rumor. What was Jonathan? But yeah, they get along with Jonathan. Jonathan has a prejudice towards the middle class. Comes from a wealthy background. So, who's my problem child? I guess Jonathan's more the problem child, but it's because he dislikes other people. I need someone who's disliked by other people. Bridget. Okay. Let's make a connection. with Jonathan. Okay. Distant cousins? I'm guessing so. Right, that'll do. You hit escape to leave things, for the most part. Each token represents each character. Right, so this one, Daryl's the coin. Deanna is this, like, bottle cap. Bridget is the rusty washer. Jonathan's the guitar pick. And Brad is this pebble. And we have to give them instructions on what to do. If they are doing nothing, they may find themselves something to do. They may just get bored. This is the status of the house. Currently has 6 unsecured entrances, no secured entrances, and no fortified entrances. Now, with only 6 entrances, that's nice and tight, actually. And we may want to use that as our base, just because we can fortify that one fairly simply. Although it is at the edge of town, and hence a bit difficult for getting around. Also, I'm going to have to find all the auto parts here in town. Let's get back to the diary here. We met someone at the outskirts of town. He said he was part of a scavenger group looking for some spare parts, but they were attacked, and he was the only one who survived. He said there might be a vehicle in town that we could possibly patch up if we had the right parts. But there's a catch. The outskirts are infected and getting more dangerous by the day. We'll need to find a map before we can even think about leaving. Before leaving, the scavenger said we might want to check out 9 Kenton Road. Now that's why this one here is marked, because that's 9 Kenton Road. And I probably do want to send somebody out to look at that. But right now, the house that we're in has only been 17% searched. So that would be worth looking into. Now, it's daytime right now, so the zombies are lesser, and it's safer to go out. So also, I need to get my exploration done while it's still daytime. That way I can be... But I also need to prepare for night. And if I'm going to be in this house tonight, I need to be able to fortify it. Now, different buildings have different attributes. Like, this is a police station. This one's here is a university. This is a bank. This is a library. This is a hospital. This is a warehouse. This is a hotel. You can do different things at different locations. I can give instructions for people to rest at a hotel. Otherwise, they will rest when they are tired enough to rest. Why can I only do that at the hotel? Because the hotel has nice bedrooms, I guess. This is a school. This in here is a store. And this is a factory. Now there's going to be different kinds of loot depending on where you're looting and where you're searching. And this is a bar here. And our hospital. That's the library. The houses will generally have domestic housey things. Banks have kind of more what you might expect to find in a bank. You're not going to probably find a chainsaw in a bank, for example. You will find that it's generally a secure building, but there won't be much in the way of food or anything. Meanwhile, there will be a lot more food at the bar, but it'll probably be kind of open. You'll probably find plenty of medical supplies at the hospital. You might find plenty of tools at a factory, and you'll probably find lots of just stuff at a warehouse. So this store is probably worth looking into, because food is going to be a concern. Everyone needs to eat. Police station might be nice, because it will probably have a weapon or two. And I'm going to need weapons, because there's going to be zombies. Right now we don't have any zombies to deal with, but there are going to be zombies. This warehouse might be worth a look. But the factory here, we've been advised, should be looked at, and that's probably something we should do. All the while, we're going to be looking for auto parts, a map, and the car itself on this map. Okay, so I'm going to right-click on the cards, and you can see here that this is Jonathan the engineer. He's rested. Bridget is the carpenter. She's rested. Daryl's the fighter. He's rested. Deanna, mechanic, rested. And Brad, the athlete, is rested. Now, those different skills will have different attributes, and they'll be better able to do different things. So, like here, it says, because he's the athlete, he is fit, strong, practical, and realistic, and is most useful preparing a meal, patrolling outside, and creating a distraction. So some people are going to work better together than others as well because they get along, and having them get along and work together helps encourage that to get along. But finding your objectives helps everybody get along. Sometimes putting people together who don't like each other working together can work, and they'll like each other more. Sometimes that backfires, and if they start disliking each other a lot and spending a lot of time with each other, they'll start fighting, they'll start breaking things, they'll start hurting each other, and it gets more and more complicated. So, where to begin? Well, I'm going to need to send somebody out to explore my buildings. So I'm going to select my building. Now, search the location for anything useful. Well, Deanna is the best person at that, and I probably will have Deanna search the house that we're currently in. I want to send somebody out, but I want to send somebody out who's not going to be all that useful here. And I probably want to set somebody else to searching the house as well. Now, I've just told Deanna and Bridget to search the house. Deanna and Bridget don't get along, so you'll see about how that works in a moment. And let's see here. I can, instead of anything useful, I could have it like, oh, I need weapons, I need medical supplies, I need food, I need tools. Anything useful will just come back with anything useful. I need to check my supplies. Here's my supplies. We have 8 9mm rounds and a handgun. So we have 8 rounds for the handgun. 4 pieces of scrap. Can of gasoline. A carving knife. A chess set. A flashlight. A hammer. A stereo. And a wrench. And we have a bandage and 3 cooking ingredients, which is enough to make 1 small meal. So as you can see, we're kind of light on food. We don't have a lot of, well, anything really, but it's nice to have this flashlight. That'll help with searching. The hammer will come in handy as well. The chess set will be used occasionally by some people wanting to stay sane. Carving knife is actually some of a weapon as well. Gasoline and stereos aren't very helpful. They're useful for tracking zombies. Now, I suppose if you're going to be leaving a place, turn the stereo on. That'll be brilliant, but all these zombies are going to come in during the turn when you did that. Right, so barricading entrances. I should have someone work on that slowly and quietly so we're not drawing attention. I want someone to patrol outside. I want someone to watch for zombies. And that's how we're going to start. In fact, instead of watching for zombies, Jonathan. Jonathan's going to be our explorer, I believe. He's the engineer. Right. Okay, so Jonathan's the guitar pick. Right. Investigate. Now, if I click on the blue, we can investigate, breach, or assault. Okay? Assault means we're attacking the zombies and then we'll come back. Breaching means we're trying to break in and take over the place. Investigate means I'm going to have him go and scout. And that's really what I want him to do. I do want him to just go and scout at the moment. And I could send him out with a handgun, but I'm not going to. I'm going to send him out with a carving knife. I'm going to keep the handgun for the guy on patrol. If I give him the flashlight, he'll do a better job on that, but my searchers won't do as good of a job. But it's important we scout the building. And everyone has a carrying weight. See, he can only carry up to 2.5 pounds worth of gear. This handgun weighs 1 pound. So he can carry the gun, but no ammo. I'd have to take some other gear off of him to give him ammo. Right. So everyone's doing something. Now, it takes time to travel to and come back from, so he may not be back in the time it took to search. But we'll find out. Everyone's going to do their jobs, so we press this button here and move time forward. So we've taken an hour. Rumors spread around the group. Bridget and Jonathan just found out they're distant cousins. They lost contact many years ago because of a family feud. Both remember the feud that came between them, and they're not getting along. On hearing about the feud, Daryl, Deanna, and Brad were profoundly disinterested. Deanna and Bridget found a cricket bat, a crowbar, a hacksaw, a handgun, a pair of pliers, and a spanner in the basement. That's all very handy. Jonathan returned from his recon at the factory at 9 Kenton Road. Deanna and Bridget found a baseball bat in the basement. Deanna broke a refrigerator into 7 metal and 1 plastic barricade. Deanna notes there is only 1 shower in the house. That gets important at certain points. Fighting over the shower will cause grief between people. Here's a report for 9 Kenton Road. The factory at 9 Kenton Road is a large building with around 10 rooms. It has 8 doors and 32 windows, so it's like 40 entrances. There's no way you want to stay in that building. Leading in from the outside, this place should contain a cache of medical supplies and tools. Jonathan says it might be a good place to modify equipment, and it probably is. It's a factory. It probably has tools. Jonathan scouted around the perimeter of the factory. Using a flashlight, he counted 0 zombies outside. Peering through the windows, he saw 3 zombies inside. Now, this is not necessarily an accurate report. Right, so I'm going to make sure this place is fortified so it doesn't fill up with zombies before we leave. I think I'll be doing that. I want to barricade entrances. And we'll have... I would have thought Jonathan the engineer would have been more handy than that. Alright. I can have him set traps. And let's see here. Instead of having you patrol outside, we'll take you off. We'll just have you watch. And let's see here. Now our supplies include the other items that were found. So we have 2 handguns, but only 8 bullets. So 4 bullets for each of the guns. Still, that'll come in handy when we go to assault the place. A baseball bat and a cricket bat is at least something of a hand weapon. The scrap will come in handy if we do some modifications. We now have a pair of pliers, which is useful for various things. Spanner. And a wrench. And a crowbar, which is useful for breaking in places, actually, and is a decent hand-to-hand weapon. And a hacksaw, which can come in handy. Didn't find any food, but hopefully the house will contain more food. As you can see, we're only 17% searched on the house. There's more searching to do. Alright, so... Oh, there's something. If you want to leave this, and you want to go back to the other page, just press this here. Press the clock. But don't press it twice. Pressing it twice will advance time. Right. So Deanna and Bridget found a screwdriver in the basement and 2 cooking ingredients in the kitchen. Deanna and Bridget found 3 cooking ingredients in the kitchen. Daryl secured a door leading to the living room. Half the rooms in the house have now been searched. So we're up to 50%. We found some more food, which is good. Improvements continue to be made to the house. As you can see, we now have 1 secured entrance. But because we're doing things slowly and quietly, it takes a while for it to get done. Sometimes you have options that you can't do. Like, let's see, repair a vehicle needs, we need a part and the vehicle. Hold a feast requires 1 large meal and all survivors in the same location between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Clean up corpses requires there to be corpses in the building, and there will be corpses, because whenever you kill zombies, you get corpses. Leave town. Can't do that until we have everything in order. That's basically our win the game button. Resting, like I said, it can only happen instructed to do at a hotel. Otherwise, they'll just do it whenever they do. Treating an injured survivor, first off, requires someone to be injured. Secondly, requires some medical supplies of an appropriate type. Like if he has a broken leg and all I have is a bandage, no go. Right. Creating a distraction by making noise, patrol outside and report back, prepare a meal. I could have somebody prepare a meal, I suppose. And looks like Jonathan would be okay with that, but I'm going to have him finish making a trap first. That looked like something just happened. Deanna and Bridget found a deck of playing cards in the living room. Deanna and Bridget found a bottle of spirits in the living room and a set of ignition leads in the study. Well, that's actually handy. Daryl secured a window leading to the living room, and Deanna says almost all the rooms have now been searched. So we have the ignition leads. If I go over here to this very far margin and click on this red glow, we can see our progress here. We need to find a vehicle. Once we find it, we can patch it up and get it out of here. Now, the ignition leads, I believe, are parts for it, but they're not until we can find the vehicle. We can't fix it. Right. I'm going to continue to have people do what they were doing. Deanna found a bandage in the bathroom. Okay. Daryl tried unsuccessfully to break furniture down into barricades. All rooms of the house have now been searched. So we're now at 100% search, and the people who were searching are now idle. Deanna is tinkering. Bridget is just sitting around doing nothing. So if I leave Deanna as she is, she'll just do tinkering. Probably more effective to just go have her do modification on an object. Now, let's see here. I will have someone prepare a meal. And since Jonathan's not brilliant at making traps, is anyone else better at making traps? Yeah, Deanna's better at making traps. So we'll have Jonathan cook. And, right. Bridget's still idle. Bridget blows at modification. But Jonathan's great at modification. Okay. Modifying an item will improve its capabilities. And I want to improve assault capability at the moment, because I'm going to need to be able to breach this building. Spike and cage trap have been set up in the living room. It deals a high amount of damage and will make a zombie immobile. It has 4 uses. Jonathan is modifying a baseball bat. A guillotine and cage trap have been set in the living room. It deals a high amount of damage and will make a zombie immobile. It can target 4 targets at once. Bridget's prepared 2 small meals. She stopped preparing meals because she ran out of ingredients. Fair enough. Brad reported that there are no zombies outside the house. He added that the noise level of the house is low. Hopefully zombies won't be interested. And Daryl broke a bread into 4 wood and 2 metal barricades. He secured a window leading to the main bedroom. So, where are we now? 3 and 3. And the house can support 11 traps, of which we have 2 at the moment. Well, cooking's done. I could have Bridget patrol, and I will have her attack any zombies she comes across. Yes. Okay. That's a fight. Guillotine cage trap has been set in the living room. Jonathan created a hardened baseball bat, is now better at assaulting and breaching. Guillotine cage trap has been set in the kitchen. Bridget attacked a zombie while in patrol. She took care of them by using cricket bat, struck down 2 of them. Bridget received some bruising. Okay. So now if we go to Bridget, you can see she has this bloody stain on her picture. And she has contusions. Contusions, unfortunately, will slow her down. If we had pain medication, we could overcome that. As you said before, we can't treat her injuries because they're not a type that we can treat with what we have. We only have bandages. So if she has cuts and abrasions, sure, I can deal with that. But otherwise, no. Now, she will continue to do what I told her to do, and patrol outside and attack zombies. As long as they're outside, the corpses don't really matter. Right. Oh! See? And now she's dead. Bridget and Deanna's concurrent bickering is getting everyone down. Well, Bridget's dead now. Bridget attacked a zombie on patrol, and that's the last we saw of her. Well, don't have to worry about Bridget anymore. But Jonathan's really not getting along with some folk. Everyone's down. So Bridget gave us one last parting gift, unfortunately. And one less person means one less person to do things. And I'm not going to be getting anybody new in. At least I don't think so. And now we have a corpse. So I need someone to clean up corpses. Who's good at doing that? I'm going to have Jonathan deal with it. Because I need the people doing the other things. Right, all the corpses have been cleaned up. If you don't clean up the corpses, it'll cause food spoilage and problems. Daryl and Deanna's bickering is getting everyone down. Great. I'm really lacking food. I'm going to have to go out and find more. I think we're going to send Deanna out. Yeah, okay. Deanna's the bottle cap. We'll have her, in fact, let's assault this location with a couple folks. Send Jonathan as well. Right. Handgun, all the ammo. Flashlight. Crowbar will help them get in. Yeah, it's a vehicle part, so have ignition leads. Other tools might be handy for them getting in or for defending themselves. Like this hammer might come in handy. But that's all their carrying capacity. And I want them to be able to bring back things. So we'll send them well equipped with weapon and crowbar and flashlight. Yeah. While the other two continue to work on the house. Deanna and Jonathan approached the factory with the intention of breaking in. It was an easy place to get access to, so they didn't have to spend much time finding a way inside. Damn right, it was like 40 entrances, as I recall. They headed into a small second-story window leading into the first assembling floor. When it came to getting inside, the crowbar proved very useful. See, there were no zombies inside the first assembly floor. It sounds as if there are only a handful of zombies wandering around in here. Doesn't look like there are any zombies outside the factory. Deanna ate a snack. That means she must have found a snack inside the factory, because we didn't have any snacks. Brad reported that the house is surrounded by a small number of zombies, added that the noise level at the house is low. Hopefully zombies won't be interested. Daryl secured a window leading into the kitchen. So, nearly got the place secured. I want to get that finished off. That way zombies won't break into the place if I vacate. Also, it makes the place better defended, and it makes people feel better, because they'll have places a safe place to be. Having him watch for zombies is useful because I don't want Daryl to die in a surprise attack. The other two are still breaching. Well, that doesn't sound good. On the assembly floor. Diana was killed after 2 zombies gored, trampled her, broke her arm, and bashed her in her head. Jonathan was killed after 4 zombies crushed and mutilated him. I gave you guys the guns! You had one job! Now my guns are gone. Right. And the house isn't secured. getting dark outside. We'll need to be more vigilant. Daryl secured a window leading to the living room. Okay, that should be the place secured now. Yeah, we're secured. Okay. So, instead of having Daryl barricade, we'll take him off barricade duty here. And, oh, he sucks at making traps. Sucks at modifying. He can make a distraction. He can patrol. Doing a bit of patrolling would be probably worthwhile, but also how we've already lost somebody. It's dark, so that's no good. I might as well just have him continue working on barricades because he'll fortify locations. And I'll have Brad continue to watch because otherwise we might die. Oh good, we're going to die anyway. Daryl and Brad arguing has escalated into a fight. Brad ended up with a broken arm. You're the only two guys left. You can't get along. Look at this. You hate each other. Oh. Alright. You're all gonna die because you're own bickering, you know. Brad says he's feeling secure in the house. Yeah, that's because the place is secured. Secured doors and windows should slightly dampen the noise. Good. And you can hear the zombies. That means they're outside milling around. And it's only 11 p.m. And Daryl continues to fail to make any progress. And they continue to bicker. Yep, still surrounded by zombies, 1 a.m. Oh, that sounded like a fight. Daryl briefly stopped barricading entrances, picked up a screwdriver, and messed up a zombie with the left leg through a secured window. So basically just, jab. I'm not reading these bits just because they're continuously the same thing. Sun's coming up, it'll be easier to spot zombies. Okay, Daryl's continuing to fail to break down any furniture. Possibly because we sent our crowbar out with our team to die. Patrol outside and attack zombies. Why not? We need to clear the place. Oh yeah, Daryl's dead. Brad briefly stopped watching for zombies, picked up a pair of pliers and stabbed a zombie in the left leg through a secured window with pliers. So, Brad's hurt. Daryl's dead. He's in a fairly secured house with some traps, but he's doomed. This is an utter failure. We set up a firework and rope trap in the study. It deals a low amount of damage and will slow a zombie down. It has 2 uses. You can see we have 9 of 11 traps. I mean, I don't know what we can do. Oh, we should be cleaning up the corpses, of course. I mean, I can watch. I can modify items. Pathetically. Barricades. He's only really capable of patrolling or watching, and if every time I send somebody out to patrol, they die. We're kind of trapped in our own little secured house. It's just a matter of time until the zombies break in and kill us, or we starve to death because we only have 2 cooking ingredients in the house. We do have a cricket bat and a hardened baseball bat for defense. And we have lots and lots and lots of scrap. And it's nearly dark. Yeah, we prepared a meal with whatever we could find, so we don't even have the ingredients left. And we're trying to modify a wrench. It's now raining. It's a storm. The zombies don't care about storms. Halfway through modifying the wrench, making good progress on the wrench modification. What are you doing to this wrench? He's very hungry. Yeah, I would imagine he's very hungry. There's nothing to eat. Create a handy wrench. He's now modifying items and making devices. That was light. Just a bit of the atmosphere of the game. Okay, so we're like trapped in here. Not much we can do. We're starving. It'd probably be good to explore somewhere where we might find food. So let's do that. Why not? Let's go out in a blaze of glory. Might as well take our wrench that we spent so much time and effort on. Oh, we can take the wrench and the baseball bat, and that's it. I'll have to leave the ignition leads here, and the bandages. That's right, I can't take any bandages. Oh, Brad. Brad, you are so doomed. Okay. Let's go! Yep, Brad could not hold out against the horrors of the town. Let's read the final entries, shall we? He must have died trying to breach the police station. Yep. Don't know who would have written that. Brad was the last guy. There's various statistics on our game. That was really, really poor. That's my worst game ever. But that gives you a good taste of what this is about. That's it. That's the game. I hope you enjoyed watching, and our sad attempt at survival. And I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye!